In this video, I just want to share my story of having PTSD from a lot of trauma and, living with a pretty bad anxiety disorder for a long time. That's coming up. Hey everyone, it's Corey and welcome to my channel. That's all about motivating and inspiring people to choose life through my own experiences, positive and negative. And if you're a new viewer, can you please consider subscribing? Let's get into it. So folks, I really want to share my story, my experience of having PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from a lot of trauma. I've had it for a long time now. I've had it for years, and a very severe anxiety disorder, every single day and everything like that. So yeah, I just want to open up and share my story. Hopefully I can raise some awareness for mental health. Hopefully I can inspire someone who's going through a hard time, emotionally, like whatever you're going through. Hopefully my story, my experience can inspire and hopefully help you. And I also want to share my story because, I don't want people to be afraid to reach out for help. I really want to get that message across. Like, I really want to help people, to feel that, you're not weak, by reaching out and asking for help. You're actually really strong. Okay? So that's the other reason why I want to share. And, folks, I just got to warn you straight away. I'm going to talk about some pretty heavy stuff, some serious stuff that could be a trigger for some people. So I think it's important that I say that because, I'm going to talk about some stuff that, you might get emotionally overwhelmed. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. So, this is all new to me. This is all pretty fresh and new, as in, realizing that I have post-traumatic stress disorder. Because I've only reached out for help probably only a few months ago. So that's what I mean. This is all new and new, fresh for me. I knew something was wrong for a long, long time. And I'll talk about that some more, but, actually reaching out, asking for help, the psychologist saying, look, Corey, after our conversation, you've got post-traumatic stress disorder from a lot of trauma, and you've got this anxiety disorder. Like, that's all fresh and new for me. I always knew something was wrong, but yeah. So, by the way, I don't have post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't have PTSD or an anxiety disorder from an accident. For those that know, I broke my neck surfing. I almost drowned at the age of 20 and I became a quadriplegic. I actually don't have post-traumatic stress disorder from that. I don't have post-traumatic stress disorder from being in my wheelchair, wheeling around the city and then someone trying to set me on fire. That's not what it's from. So from a young age, from a very young age, to where I'm at right now, I personally know 21 people, friends, family, that have committed suicide. They're all male. It's pretty crazy. So, oh man. Yeah. So I know 21 people that have committed suicide. And I know 4 people that were murdered. 3 girls and 1 boy. Yeah, 3 girls and 1 boy. And I knew these people, right? So I knew them. I knew their families. Some I hadn't seen since I was a kid. But it still had a huge impact on me. And, after talking to the psychologist, I've always been a very strong, emotionally strong, driven, I've always been strong, tough, obviously got through my accident, I get through a lot of things, life and everything like that, but I couldn't do this one alone, folks. I couldn't, work it out or get through this alone. And like I said, it's all fresh and new, just talking to a psychologist only a few months ago, but at least I know what it is and we're working through it right now. So, for me, I'm lost for words. I really want to talk about this, but it's really hard. It's super hard. Like, yeah. So, yeah, I guess the trauma side of thing is obviously knowing 21 people that took their lives. Like, that's just scary. It's horrible. It's horrible for them. It's sad. And it's very sad for their family members. And, you know, because I knew their family members too. I've been to a lot of funerals, obviously, and seeing their family members just so distraught, just left questioning, wondering why, like so upset. Obviously, I'm upset, and just that whole emotional thing just over and over and over again. Like, yeah, I just haven't had time to process it because, you know, it was all, you know, as soon as one person would commit suicide, someone else would. And there was actually, within 3 weeks or a month, I knew 3 people that took their own lives. And it got to the point where I was so scared to answer my phone. Like, seriously, I was that paranoid that every time someone would, you know, call me just to say g'day, I had fear. I had anxiety. I was just like, oh God, here we go. Like something else has happened, you know, and, you know, the people that were murdered, like, yeah, like they were like from my childhood. I knew them from my childhood. I hadn't seen them like in a few years or anything, but I knew them. I knew their family. Yeah, it's really sad. And the way that it affected me is I knew, but I didn't. But subconsciously, I thought about them every single day. I thought about them. I thought about the circumstances. I thought about their family every single day. And it was just like, yeah. And a lot of the triggers for me, without realizing, was like, for years, I haven't been able to watch violence. I used to love watching movies of violence and shootings and you know, all that kind of stuff, but I just can't. Like, for a long time, I just haven't been able to watch any violence. Like, yeah, I can't watch movies where they're shooting people are dying. It's just a huge trigger for me, like a massive trigger. Like, yeah, anyone like raising their voice is another trigger for me. Like, yeah, like if someone starts speaking loudly or arguing, like I just can't cope. I literally can't cope. Like I think the worst. Like I honestly start thinking that, you know, something's bad's going to happen. Someone's going to die. And, you know, I've known so many people that have committed suicide and murdered, but I also know a lot of people that have tried to commit suicide. And yeah, not cool. A lot of people that have died in car accidents, and, you know, through my life, you know, including my grandparents that might have died of old age and everything like that, I know, close to like 50 people that have passed away. But, you know, that's sad and everything like that. But the ones that committed suicide, the ones that got murdered, like really affected me. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it just affects me a lot. So I'm trying to keep on track here and tell my story, but it's pretty hard, like trying to keep focus. So, you know, like I said, you know, I've got those triggers. Yeah, when I was away on holiday, I heard 2 people get murdered in our driveway. We heard the gunshots and everything like that. And that was bad. Like that just, yeah. So for years, I've just been thinking about these people, thinking about their families. Like, it's just really just played on my mind for years and years and years. I haven't been able to process the grief because, like I said, like, soon as someone would pass away, it wasn't long before someone else. And it's just like, it's just horrible. Like, it really is horrible. So I'm really glad that I sought, you know, help, because I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing way better, like talking to a psychologist. I'm talking to my dad, who's, you know, had PTSD as well. Yeah, and I do sound therapy. So PTSD sound therapy, that's the thing that's helped me the most. Like, yeah, you can jump on YouTube. My psychologist sent it to me. It's a video that goes for 30 minutes. And it's just called PTSD sound therapy. And I play that. And no joke, like, that has really changed my life. It's really helped me a lot. Like, first of all, understanding what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and why. seeking help, like, you know, having the courage to, you know, seek help, you know, getting help. Yeah, that's really helped a lot. Having a very understanding wife. Wow, Becky is amazing on all levels. Like, she's just amazing. Like, yeah, she could see something was wrong, and she knew, because just in conversation, I'd always bring up, not in a weird way, not in a badge of honor, nothing like that, but in conversation, if the conversation would get a bit negative, you know, I'd share, like, you know, I've had 21 friends that have, you know, committed suicide, and you know, 4 people that have been murdered, and I did bring it up a lot without realizing it, and it was just on my mind 24 hours a day, you know, for years, and that's not good. So yeah, so the triggers, yeah, lots of triggers, but I guess the symptoms for me were like, yeah, just very easily startled, like very easily startled, and constantly scared, just fear, 24 hours a day, can't sleep, couldn't sleep at all. I've been sleeping better. Yeah, just experiencing all like that, like just very scared all the time, like constantly scared, thinking I'm gonna die 24 hours a day, thinking other people are gonna die, like, you know, I'm just thinking that all day, every day. And I'll be honest, like, I haven't shared this with anyone actually, but for years, not recently, but for years, I'm not joking, for years, you know, when a lot of this was going on, like it was happening all the time, I was 24 hours a day, I was mentally planning and preparing my loved ones' funerals and what songs I'd play at their funerals, because I was just waiting for them to die or to do something, like something to happen. So I'd have like songs picked out for, you know, my mum, my dad, my best friends, and yeah, and just like think about what I'd say at their funerals, like all day, every day I'd think about this subconsciously. And it was just from the fear of, you know, people dying, people taking their own lives, people being taken away, something bad happening. Yeah. And now that, you know, I've shared that, I think, you know, I should share that with my psychologist too. Like, yeah. So it's not easy, folks. Like, having post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety disorder, living with it every single day is not easy. I just found it getting worse and worse and worse. It was just building up last year in 2019. You know, halfway through the year, I just was driving down the road, just started bawling my eyes out because I just couldn't cope anymore. I just felt like I couldn't cope with life anymore. Not that I was going to commit suicide or anything like that. It's just that I just couldn't emotionally cope. And I started crying. I had a breakdown. You know, I didn't go to work. And I went away on a holiday, and a holiday to Bali patched it up a little bit. It was like putting a Band-Aid on things. I came back. I started getting triggered again. Triggered. Then got a little bit better. And then I just got to the point this year in 2020, I guess, with, you know, the coronavirus and everything that was going on there as well, compounded as well, didn't help, because I already was hearing about some people committing suicide in my hometown. Yeah, just due to the coronavirus and all that. That was another trigger. And I just got to the point where I was like, man, I just can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I can't live like this. I just can't do it anymore. And not saying that I was going to kill myself, nothing like that, because I never want to kill myself. It's just like, I just could not emotionally cope anymore. With anxiety, like 24 hours a day, like never sleeping, like just never sleeping, like constantly thinking and worrying about people dying, you know, taking their own lives, like, or being taken away. And yeah, so I got help. It wasn't easy, because I'm pretty pretty tough, pretty emotionally tough, but I just couldn't do it by myself. So for anyone out there watching right now, like, if you're going through a hard time, I want you to know, like, it's easy for me to say, like, you're not alone. You know, there's other people going through a hard time and things can get better. And I highly recommend, you know, reaching out, seeking help, getting help, like doing whatever it takes, folks. Do whatever it takes to get help, to get through this, because it's not easy, and you do need help. We can't do it alone. Sometimes our best thinking, our best emotional management can only get us so far in life. So you're gonna have to seek help, right? So, you know, that's what I recommend. So I'm sorry if I blabbered on a bit there and got a bit off track, but it was really hard for me to do this video. I was worried I was going to cry, which is a good thing because you need to release emotions. I'm surprised I didn't cry. I'll probably cry once I stop filming. But I just hope it helps someone. You know, I hope my story helps someone out there, and I hope it helps maybe prevent someone from taking their own life. Because the truth is, folks, hang on. I've been to a lot of funerals where people took their lives. And I can tell you one thing. They all mattered. They all mattered. Their lives mattered, and they meant a lot to a lot of people. And it's hard sitting in a funeral knowing that someone took their life and seeing the pain that their friends and family are going through. It's horrible. And I've done it heaps. I've done it a lot. It's not cool. So please, whether you're thinking about taking your own life, whether you're going through a hard time, please get help. Please. Life is amazing. Life is beautiful. Don't take your life. And at the same time, choose to live. Like, don't choose to live without PTSD, without anxiety, without depression, because you can, because there is help out there. You just got to seek it. You just got to go after it. All right, folks. So that's enough from me. If you see value in what I do, please subscribe. If you want to pay it forward, please share. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, because I've got lots more videos coming out soon. Thank you very much.